That's Cher playing a tough Italian Brooklyn woman falling in love with Nicolas Cage, the brother of the man she's just become engaged to, in Moonstruck, one of the 5 big new holiday movies we'll be reviewing this week on Siskel and Ebert. I'm Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune.
And I'm Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times. Our first movie is Moonstruck, and this is an entirely original, wacky, off-balance comedy that really surprised and delighted me. It's terrific. It stars Cher in the story of an Italian-American widow in her 30s who's engaged to marry a boring bachelor, and then she falls head over heels in love with his spaced-out brother. But the movie is not just about Cher's romances. It's about a whole gallery of great comic characters, and it involves the whole family, from grandfather and his 4 dogs, who live upstairs, all the way on down to several innocent bystanders who just happen to walk onto the scene. Here's a moment from early in the movie where Danny Aiello first proposes to Cher.
So,
where's the ring?
The ring.
A ring, that's right.
I would have sprung for the ring if it was me. Capiche?
You could use your pinky ring.
I like this ring.
You propose marriage to a woman, you should offer her a ring of engagement.
But then Aiello flies off to Sicily to be with his dying mother, and a moonstruck Cher is swept off her feet by her fiancé's ne'er-do-well younger brother.
Where are you taking me?
To the bed.
Oh, God. Okay, I don't care. Take me to the bed. I don't care about anything.
I don't believe this is happening.
That's Nicolas Cage, who will always hate his older brother because he made him look the wrong way and get his hand chopped off in a bread slicing machine. Cage is great in this movie, and so is Olympia Dukakis, who plays Cher's mother. Here's the scene shortly after she's discovered that her husband is cheating on her.
Cosmo.
What?
I just want you to know, no matter what you do, you're gonna die, just like everybody else.
Thank you, Rose.
You're welcome.
That's Vincent Gardenia there as Cher's father. Eventually the moment of truth comes, and the whole family is gathered around the breakfast table when Aiello tells Cher he cannot marry her. Well, she doesn't want to marry him. She's in love with Cage, but a promise is a promise.
You are a big liar, okay? Because I have a ring right here.
Oh, I must ask for that back.
All right, the engagement is off.
In time, you will see that this is the best thing.
In time, you'll drop dead, and I'll come to your funeral in a red dress.
And that's a great line in a movie that has a lot of great lines. Those scenes can only give a hint of the richness of this movie, Moonstruck, which is one of the funniest American comedies of recent years. A lot of the credit has got to go to the director, Norman Jewison, and the writer, John Patrick Shanley, who have created not just 1 or 2 unforgettable characters, but they've worked on this project. They put in a whole movie full of interesting characters, including a middle-aged college professor who has a quiet little flirtation with Cher's mother. Then there's Cher's old grandfather who lives upstairs with the 4 dogs. Old man, you feed any more of my food to those dogs and I'm going to kick you until you're dead.
Those dogs eat so well in this movie, it's hilarious.
So does everybody in this movie. They're either eating, fighting, or making love. Cher is absolutely brilliant in the film. It's the best work she has ever done. And Nicolas Cage brings a controlled insanity to the younger brother that is just right. Not over the top, just right. But the real discoveries in the movie are Olympia Dukakis and Vincent Gardenia as Cher's parents. They are great. Moonstruck is a wonderful time at the movies, one of the year's best films.
I don't know when I've laughed over your review while you've been giving it.
Just reminding you, right?
Just reminding me of this film. It is hilarious. Now, I got a question for you. Norman Jewison isn't Italian.
No?
John Patrick Shanley doesn't...
Probably isn't
I would
Italian,
guess in the Irish
I don't think
category.
Cher is Italian either.
This is one of the most, I don't know that, I'm not Italian, but it plays so authentic, at least in terms of what...
even that it's so
Italian,
spectacular. It's Italian in certain details about
I know.
the tablecloths in the restaurant are red and white checks. This is about everybody who's ever had a family.
Oh.
Everybody who's ever had a grandfather. Everybody who's ever fallen in love with the wrong guy at the wrong time. It's Italian, but it's universal.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is that you can do Italian badly.
Yeah.
And these people, as you said, have fashioned such a beautiful, authentic script. We have wonderful films made in Little Italy.
Yeah.
That have, and then we also have bad ones. They've done a spectacular job, and I think it must go, I'll say the guy's name again, John Patrick Shanley, the writer. This is great. I mean, when everyone got this script, they must have howled, just like...
Well, this movie is a treasure. This is one of those movies that where you remember the characters. You
Yes,
remember
I want to see it again now.
I'll mention that college professor again because his little moment there where he has dinner with the mother after having spent his entire life chasing after 20-year-old students.
The writing is so powerful and punchy. Why do men have affairs? Because they're afraid they're going to die. I mean,
and
that
so
kind
her
of
husband walks in and she says, "I'm going to tell you something. You're going to die."
Right. That's the pace of this movie. It's spectacularly written. Beautiful job. I hope that guy gets an Oscar nomination, if not an Oscar. John Patrick Shanley.
And a few other people in the movie,
You
too.
bet. I'm sure they will. The romantic comedy called Overboard is simply pathetic, seemingly going overboard with broad physical comedy and verbal comedy as Goldie Hawn plays a spoiled rich woman who at first has a hate-hate relationship with a carpenter on her and her husband's yacht. Kurt Russell is the carpenter, and he can't stand her constant complaining.
Don't touch me!
What? Hey, lady, I may be hard up, but I am definitely not that hard up, and I'm not going anywhere. And
Isn't that a surprise? He actually fell overboard, Roger. I bet you didn't know that was going to happen. No. The film's grand gimmick, however, is when Hawn herself falls overboard, suffers amnesia, bumping her head, and Kurt Russell, initially out for revenge, takes her back to his rural home and convinces her that she's the wife and mother of his 4 kids. Then she starts acting like her old character of Princess and Private Judy Benjamin when she's asked to fix Russell and the boys a chicken dinner.
hey, 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 hey! Hey, come here. Sit down. Let me see your hair. Sit
My
it?
hair.
Oh, I'll get some cream. You'll be all right.
Ouch.
Isn't that a scream? But she gets revenge after serving the gang a pie.
Sugar lips.
Yeah.
You know, a movie is really pathetic when it ends up being basically a seltzer fight at the end. The movie Overboard is much too top-heavy with bad jokes and screaming and not strong enough in its love story. I don't understand why they didn't emphasize that. The story is simply the standard taming of the shrew tail, and neither the shrew nor the tamer is that interesting.
I liked it a lot more than that.
I can't believe it.
I did. I really enjoyed it. I didn't like it as much as Moonstruck, which we're coming off of, so that there's a kind of a little diminution of energy, but I enjoyed it. I thought this was the kind of movie that would have been made in the 1930s, a screwball comedy, the trading of places, the exchange of identities. I thought it was Goldie Hawn's best movie in a long time, and I enjoyed the way that she related to those kids and how she changed. And I liked a lot of the physical humor, too.
You like the seltzer bottle? You like the spraying of the stuff? You think that's funny?
Yeah, I kind of thought it was okay, sure.
Oh, kind of okay. Well, I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay, then I thought it was more than okay. I thought it was not a great comedy, but a good comedy, and I did enjoy it. And I would recommend it to somebody who's looking for a little escapist entertainment.
Someone you hope never to see again, I have
No,
a feeling.
not at all. No, I'd be happy to see that person again. Anytime.
I don't think they'd be happy to see you.
Make an appointment right now. They can come back and tell me
No,
if
they
they liked
won't.
it or not.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as you said it.
It is.
No, it's not. 6 people make up one person at different times in their life, I think. We love, we don't love. We love the wrong person loves us, and so forth. It's almost as if he's working out a little intellectual essay here on unhappy love.
Yeah, a very, maybe an essay form or maybe a play form would have been better than this. Again, Farrow and Stritch, the individual performances can't be faulted.
Do you recommend the movie or not?
Yes, because it's better than most of the things out, but at that level, and not as good as Hannah and Her Sisters on the same kind of subject.
Okay, coming up next, the movie Batteries Not Included, featuring the answer to some slum dwellers' prayers. Would you believe flying saucers?
They're spaceships. You can tell just by looking at them.
Spaceships?
Our next film is called Batteries Not Included, which is a bad cross between E.T. and Cocoon. As creatures from outer space, little teeny tiny ones and pie plate flying saucers, arrive in answers to the prayers of a bunch of tenement dwellers whose building is threatened with demolition. Now, when a movie is a cross between two other successful movies, it often has nothing special of its own to offer, and that's true here, as three of a mixed bag of neighbors go looking for a person they suspect of taking some of their possessions. That person, Jessica Tandy, has seen the spaceships, and she isn't flustered by their display of power. She knows that the little mechanical creatures inside are good-natured, and they'd like to fix things when they are broken.
They're shy.
Not too funny and not much better are the moments when the little visitors help Jessica Tandy and Hume Cronin in their luncheonette. At first, the outer space gang doesn't know how to make a hamburger sandwich.
Hey, pal. Like this. Remember?
Welcome back to town. Come on, can you score that?
And after the cheese is laid on the creature is served in the sandwich, but a little too slowly. The pacing of this film is off. This film was produced by Steven Spielberg's production company, and basically it's recycled E.T. fairy tale with more slapstick and less heart. Less heart than E.T. or Cocoon, for that matter. I watched this film thinking I was seeing basically a comic book with the best pages torn out. It's an empty story full of forced holiday warmth.
I liked it more than you did. I didn't think it was forced warmth. I thought that the people in this movie and all the people in that house interacted in an interesting way
I thought they were a predictable little bunch of stereotypes. We have the old couple and the ethnics and all that. I think it was a formula
animation and use of the special effects, so that the flying saucers have genuine personalities. They really move around in such a way that they seem to be.
Special effects really don't interest me that much anymore.
Not even when they're well done.
When they are extremely well done, as in RoboCop, yes, and with good humor, but not here.
I'll tell you, I think that this movie had a lot of good feeling in it. It had a few nice laughs. It had some interesting special effects. And I'll use the same argument you just used. It's better than most of the stuff out there. It really is.
Well, Roger, I think that you've been too easy twice now with the Goldie Hawn film and this, and I don't know what's wrong with you. You're really in the holiday season this year. You're giving out gift reviews.
You see, the whole thing is, just because I'm not in the same mood that you are doesn't mean that I'm wrong about these pictures. When we come back,
doesn't mean you're right.
Ironwood with two of America's best actors, Jack Nicholson and Meryl Streep, as Skid Row alcoholics in the middle of a depression.
I'm not a phony.
I'm not a phony either.
Not.
Our next movie is named Ironwood, and it contains some of the most interesting acting that either Jack Nicholson or Meryl Streep has ever done. They're playing two strange, sad, sometimes kind of wonderful characters, both of them Skid Row alcoholics in upstate Albany, New York, in the last years of the Great Depression. In the movie, Nicholson has left home and started to drink after a tragic accident where his baby son was killed. Streep is a former society woman, a talented musician, who is now devoting her life to getting drunk.
I asked for a sandwich. Did I get it?
Yeah, you're stupendous and colossal.
Don't you squint your eyes at me or I'll knock you across the damn automobile.
Inspired by a visit to the cemetery where he saw the grave of his little boy, Nicholson decides to return home after 20 years. And Carol Baker gives a warm and generous performance as his wife, who is still a little bit in love with him despite everything that has happened. Here she's helpless as he struggles with his ghosts.
I'm the one that's living. I'm the one that put you on the map. You don't know nothing that I don't know. See? So get your asses gone. I'm sick to death of looking at the bunch of yous anyways.
Fran.
And really, one of the nice things in this movie is that Carol Baker performance.
Oh, excellent.
It's extremely important because she represents for Jack Nicholson everything he's lost, but also everything that he might be able to regain.
That's
it's
right.
a subtle and warm performance. Ironwood is based on the novel and screenplay by William Kennedy, who's written many books set in his hometown of Albany. but it was directed by a man from far away, Hector Babinko from Brazil. Yet this is a particularly American movie in the way it looks, and especially in the way Nicholson and Streep are sad but not pathetic, because they have dignity and just enough humor to make life sometimes a little bearable. I thought both of their performances were inspired. Their work is going to be compared, I think, to another alcoholic couple in another current movie, Mickey Rourke and Faye Dunaway in Barfly. I'd say Barfly was more comic and irreverent, and Ironwood is deeper and more poignant. Two different arrangements of the same song.
Well, yes, what I liked about this was we got to see through, I will say, one thing that is not particularly American, and it comes out of Babenko's sensibility, through the use of ghost characters in white, we actually feel for the cause of these people's illness and their current alcoholism. And I thought that that was done. That can be botched up very badly when you have ghosts coming. It's a very bold move, and it actually works. In addition, I think you're right about the acting approaches taken by both of these actors. Instead of pushing it, it's almost like working in negative space. It's what sometimes they don't say. It's how they don't connect with each other, though they're very much in love and very much care for each other. And the fact that they can't get close is so darn sad. The wall between them at times is so palpable that you almost want to push them together.
It's interesting because it's a wall based on drinking.
Yes.
And when you talk about withdrawing, one of the things neither Streep or Nicholson gives us in this movie is a star turn.
Exactly.
I mean, at the beginning, you can hardly even see Nicholson's face under that hat. Now, we know the eyebrow and all the other Nicholson tricks, they're not here.
Yes.
It's as if both of these characters have been restrained by their drinking to the point where their personalities have been inhibited. That's interesting.
It's very, very well done. Now let's take another look at the movies we reviewed on this show. Two big, enthusiastic thumbs up for Moonstruck, the hilarious romantic comedy directed by Norman Jewison. A big split on Goldie Hawn's latest comedy, Overboard. Roger thought it was cute. I thought it was dumb. One thumb up, one down. Two thumbs up for Woody Allen's serious film September, but Roger liked it more than I did. It seemed a little too uptight for me. Another split on Batteries Not Included. Roger liked the special effects. I thought the story was utterly routine. And two thumbs up for Ironwood, starring Meryl Streep and Jack Nicholson, giving great performances as two Depression-era alcoholics. So the one we really like the most is Moonstruck. Boy, that comes out of the blue this year, and I just love it.
I'm sure it's going to win a lot of Oscar nominations. I hope they don't overlook Olympia Dukakis
as the mother.
As the mother. That's it for this week. Next week, we'll review Robin Williams as a rebellious disc jockey in Good Morning Vietnam, and the new comedy concert film Eddie Murphy Raw. That's next week, and until then, the balcony is closed.
Raisinets and Goobers are playing everywhere, starring plump, juicy raisins and great golden peanuts. Both now feature creamy Nestle milk chocolate. Want something really refreshing? Try Riuniti Peach, Raspberry, and Apple. Just the taste of fresh fruit and natural Riuniti. They're not watered-down coolers. The Skill Twist Cordless Power Screwdriver. It's a great gift for anyone on your list at hardware stores and home centers everywhere. Soft Scent Skin Lotion with Vitamin E, where the feel of healthy skin begins.